Thank you very much. Next up, we have Alain Leclerc from Intellectual Property Institute of Canada. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm the president of the Intellectual Property Institute of Canada, IPIC, and I'd like to begin by thanking this committee for the opportunity to speak before you and to answer any questions you may have. IPIC is the largest professional association in Canada of patent agents, trademark agents, and lawyers and other professionals practicing intellectual property law, basically. It was founded nearly 100 years ago, and we carry, all of us, a message of hope and economic recovery through science, creativity, harnessing of human innovation, and the smart deployment of IP assets in Canada. Now, I'll cut right to the chase by telling you that I have just one message today, and the message is to the government of BC to think about perhaps earmarking some funds for future recovery in relation to the cost of securing intellectual property rights. And I'll justify this recommendation with a few things. First of all, we know that before the pandemic, this horrible pandemic, startup companies and small businesses in BC and elsewhere in Canada were some of the fastest growing and job creating and contributors to the growth of provincial economies. So we know that. And we think that this will also continue in a recovery phase. So according to Business Development Canada, small businesses employ around 70% of private sector workers in Canada and generate more than half of the economic output of the business sector. So SMEs are very, very important to growth. The other thing that we know, and this is based on a study by the Canadian Intellectual Property Office, is that there's a strong correlation between small and medium-sized companies that hold IP rights and growth and commercial success. So we know that IP is good. And when I talk about intellectual property, I'm talking about patent rights, trademark registrations, industrial design registrations on the look and shape of articles being sold, copyrights, trade secrets. We're in a new economy. We're all talking today on Zoom. And the other thing that we know is that a lot of major players in technology and innovation that are around now started off very small. And a lot of them started off after a recession or after a downturn in the economy. So necessity is the sort of the mother of invention. That's the saying. And we think that we should be securing IP rights or helping small and medium-sized enterprise secure their IP rights. So to quickly recover from the COVID-19 pandemic and return the economy to growth levels, we are urging this committee to consider earmarking some funds towards the businesses that want to secure intellectual property rights. And by the way, just to do a quick geographical, a geographical view of what's going on in the rest of Canada, we're looking at IPIC was pleased to see that Ontario launched a COVID-19 Rapid Research Fund that was earmarking some funds towards intellectual property rights for businesses that create solutions to the pandemic. And Quebec has a first patent program, which is now replaced by a multiple patent program, helping smaller businesses towards securing funds for intellectual property protection. And we think that intellectual property should include not just patents, but also trademarks. A lot of smaller companies are not really comfortable with the IP systems and how to use them. So we think they need help financially to get comfortable with using the IP system, to leverage their creativity, to secure more rights, and to actually deploy a great business success and perhaps some exports as well. So as we move towards a greener, cleaner, and more creative economy, we think that we should earmark some specific funds towards intellectual property protection for the province of British Columbia. Thank you very much for your attention. I see that I've already run over time.
Thanks a lot.
But it's a nice format. I thank you for your attention and for the opportunity to appear before this committee.